Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 9. Next week is the finale, you guys. Dang, that went by fast. I actually really enjoyed this season. I just got off of work and 30 minutes into my lunch break. Okay, so work ran over, so I gotta hurry up and get through this because I have to be back in 30 minutes. Okay, so can't be fucking around with you guys too long. I made sure I got my notes together, all very comprehensive, so I can understand what I'm trying to do. This should go very smoothly, you guys. So the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show opens with Lou killing one of the Italians. I was like, oh, Lord, is Marvin dead? I know Marvin ain't dead, but, you just don't really know at this point, okay? But sure enough, we see Marvin at poor Miss Renee. Miss Renee didn't make it, you guys. She was the one that ended up getting killed by the Italian, and Marvin is at the funeral looking pretty sad. I was like, dang, I wanted it for Marvin and Renee. One thing about this show, they don't let it linger too long. When somebody needs to get got, then they get killed. Okay, so that's one thing I can't appreciate, because Lou had to take care of the Italian. Renee ain't around too long. It's just everything happens quick, fast, and in a hurry around here. Anyway, the Italians are talking with Sal. Okay, they're upset. Rock is a problem. She killed Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy is the one that Lou shot. So it has to be answered. And Sal was just like, yeah, I mean, I understand it needs to be answered and everything, but we got to know a little bit more about Rock and her operation. It's a whole bunch of shit going on in Queens. He not really sure if he wants to. I mean, he is going to have to, but he don't really want to get involved with the Queen shit. Okay, it's a lot. It's like a hornet's nest down there. So he just needs to figure out exactly what's going on down there first. Don't nobody make no moves until Sal tell you. I think that this is probably the only unrealistic storyline. I feel like the Italians would have taken care of Rock. Okay, the fact that, one, she's a woman, another, that she's black, like, there's no way that Sal would, even if he is part of like the old school, the good guy type Italian who tries to do everything fair, as a mob guy or whatever, it's still like they've given Rock way too much leeway. So that's the only thing that's kind of unbelievable on the show to me. But anyway, we see Sal, he's complaining to Unique. He's upset that Rock fucked him, that he was offered a very reasonable trade-off, didn't try to get her son killed because he don't want to wish this kind of pain on anybody, okay? But Rock just kind of fucked him, okay, spit in his face. And so he's upset. He still wants to get to Marvin. Unique was like, listen, I ain't really got much love for Marvin either. He tried to shoot at me and my son as well. But I can tell you this, Marco just fucked up the job. That's not really on Marvin. Okay, Sal is upset that Marco took the job, that Marvin even went around Sal to get to Marco. And he was just like, well, I mean, but Marco took it. So like, you can't really blame Marvin if Marco fucked up the job. Well, Sal is like, listen, I need to know all about Rock's operation. I need to know how many men she got, how much firepower she has, exactly like where they coming, where they going, all of that. Unique was like, listen, I'm not trying to get in the middle of you and Rock's business. And he was like, oh, okay, so it's me and Rock's business, but you was the one that came to me and wanted me to put the squeeze on Rock, right? Okay, you the one that asked me to do all these favors for you, which I have done because my son told me that you was on the up and up, but this is how you gonna do me now? So then Unique was like, well, what do I get out of this? If I'm gonna be helping you with this, and this ain't none of my problem. And Sal was like, you get my gratitude. Okay, and that is priceless in this world today. So you need to think about it, Unique, and hard. Unique was like, I don't really know. He's still trying to figure it out. And Sal was just like, you're so disappointing. And I don't handle disappointment well. I was like, Unique, don't fuck around and get yourself killed. Now let's jump over to the crackhead who actually saw Kanan shoot Creepy Daddy. So, the cops are harassing him. He's got all this shit on him. Drugs, money, whatever. They arrest him and he was like, wait a minute, don't take me in. I got some information for you. I know the person that shot that cop in the park. They sort of like, yeah. I mean, he's just another crackhead. They always trying to barter, always trying to say they saw something just so they can get out of it. Okay, so they take him down to the precinct. He's steadily claiming that he got information and he could tell them and he need to get out and y'all need to listen to him. Well, just so happens that Detective Annoying, what is the, did we get give her a name? She's so annoying, you guys. But I think we already had Detective Annoying from no, extremely annoying was Power. So yeah, I guess she can be Detective Annoying. She hears him, all right, and he was like, "Hey, lady cop, I got information on who shot Creepy Daddy." And she was just like, "Well, you already told us, Lee Harvey Oswald, remember?" And he was like, No. You know, my head was fucked up that day, but now I'm clear. I know exactly who it was." Okay, so she's listening to him, but she's not really listening. But she kind of got an idea. He was like, you know, he be that young kid, he be in the neighborhood and all of that. So she kind of, her interest is a little piqued. So he telling her he got the answers that, you know, she needs. So they throw him in the jail. And so she goes up to the bars and she was just like, okay, then tell us what you know. Okay, and he was like, you know, it's that young kid that's always, I be seeing him. He was talking to Creepy Daddy. And she was just like, oh, he was talking to him? Yes, you know, I don't know his name, but he always be around and he be hanging out with that other kid, you know, that they call him Famous. And then she was just like, oh, all right, connecting the dots. This is confirmation for her, but he still hasn't said a name. And so she's excited. So she goes to the captain and she was like, hey, captain, got a cold case I'm working on. What do we do if somebody who gave a statement doesn't match the original statement that they gave? And he says, use whatever evidence that matches the statement. And then she was just like, okay. No, she ain't said nothing else. You know, captain was just like, get out there and do your damn work. I got a whole bunch of work here to do. You know, the captains, they always mad, stressed out and all of that. So she goes back to her desk. She's working. She's about to try to work on the crackhead. And then turns out that the crackhead is getting out of jail. Okay, they need the space. And, you know, he ain't really done nothing. I mean, he a crackhead, but otherwise he ain't really done nothing. So they gonna let him out. So when they taking him out, you know, she was like, wait a minute. I need to talk to him. And there was like, what you need to talk to him for? And she was just like, cuz we have some business that we need to take care of. Now, Creepy Daddy done seen her wrapped up with the crackhead and the other cop. So Creepy Daddy is talking to one of the other cops and he was like, what's going on down there? And he was like, well, that crackhead said that he knows who shot you. Okay. Creepy Daddy was like, don't. I was like, you better protect your boy, Creepy Daddy. I was like, boy, you're going to have a lot of work that you need to do to get rid of this girl because she is relentless. Anyway, we letting them go. Okay. She was like, well, at least let me walk him out. So she walks him out. And Creepy Daddy go and follow and listen from upstairs, you know, and she's still trying to talk to him like, okay, now you need to give me a name. And he was just like, oh, I'm not giving you no name now. I'm out of jail. I don't need to give you the name. And she was just like, you were supposed to give it to me. You said you were. And he was like, yeah, I know. And I'm going to keep that name for when I need it in the future. Because he already know the cop's going to be fucking with him. Okay. So she gives him some money and she said, there's more where this came from. All right. Kind of like, make sure you remember me when I need you. And he was like, okay. But Creepy Daddy's seen all this. She's a problem. She goes home. She's with her girlfriend after they have sex. You know what her version of pillow talk is? Okay, post-coital, talking about this damn case. That girl was like, listen, why do you keep on talking about this case? You trying to prove to everybody that you just got this job, that you didn't just get this job because of your family. You know, you are good enough. Everybody knows that you're a good cop. You're the only one that don't believe in yourself. Okay? But I'm going to need you to stop talking about Creepy Daddy because you fucking up the horny. Okay? And this is not what I want to talk about when I'm having sex. And she says, okay. Now let's jump over to Rock. Rock finally gets the keys to her new home in the suburbs. Okay? The lady was just like, I hope you make very happy memories here. You know, she kind of look over there and see one of Rock's security standing. And she was like, that's my cousin. I just wanted him to see the house. Everybody your cousin, child. So the lady was like, oh, okay, honey. The lady got her money. She said, if you ever need anything else, you just reach out to me. Okay. So Rock has her house, a great big old beautiful house, and there's just gonna be Rock up in there. Maybe Juke. And speaking of Juke, when Rock goes home, Juke is there. She's washing the dishes, and Rock was like, oh, thanks for doing that. You know, I didn't have a chance to get to him. And then she was like, oh, Marvin told me what happened with your mom. Okay. And Juke was like, yeah, I thought it would be different, but turns out, you know, she fucked up just like everybody else. And Rock was just like, well, you know, you just want love. That's what we all want. Okay. And you reached out to your mom. You thought it would happen there. It just didn't happen. But, you know, people can change. You know, people try and they can be better people and all of that. Kind of sounds like she's talking about herself. She's like, have you talked to Kanan? And she was just like, I mean, here and there. You know, she knows he's over at Fame's And she was just like, you know, I do everything for that boy. People always judge you from the outside in. They don't realize what you need to do to make things happen. But she made these decisions for Kanan. She's trying to protect her child. You know, she's working for Kanan. He just doesn't realize that. But we hustling here. But you got to understand, this short-term gains is what makes long-term results. Okay? This ain't no damn race. This a marathon, honey. We working hard at this. And whatever she decides now could make a difference even 20 years out. And Juke says she understands. Now, later on, we see Rock getting old boy out of jail. Okay, and she's talking to the Maryland guy, and he was like, listen, thank you for that, you know. And she was like, that's what I do, you know. I take care of my people, you know. I make sure I look out for them, make sure that they comfortable, you know, everything goes right for them. And she's still trying to get him over to work for her. And he was like, look, Cartier ain't one of them people that you can just walk away from. Okay, I know you want me to come work for you and everything, but that nigga crazy, and I'm gonna need him to be dead before I can even come over, talk about coming over to work for you. Okay, you take care of that mean ass nigga, and then maybe I'll come over and work for you. So she was just like, okay, we'll get it handled, don't worry. So she walks away, and you know, the lawyer and the other guy, the one that was in jail, you know, they come, and he was like, boy, I'm gonna tell you what, look like Rock might be even meaner than, he might even be colder than Cartier. Okay, he gonna have to keep his good eye on sis. Later on, she's with Cartier. He trying to push up on her. She was just sort of like, ugh, get off of me. And he was just like, I'm not the kind of man that waits for what he wants, Rock. And she was like, yeah, well, I'm not ready. Okay, she ain't never gonna be ready, but he don't know that. She's still trying to get the game out of him. Well, Cartier wants to go into business with her. 50%, you know, he gonna do this, that, and the other. It's gonna be real good and whatnot. Okay, she just shaking her head like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. He gonna help her legitimize her businesses and, you know, so all of this, the long game, like she was trying to tell Juke. She was like, oh, so you want to do all this with me because you want to fuck? He was like, no, I don't never pay for fucking. She said, I thought you said it was too competitive up here in Queens. And he was just like, if we can control enough of everything, we gonna be good. I was just like, Rock, don't you fuck that no good nigga. I know she not, but I always got to tell my girl, don't do it. Now, girl. Jumping over to Creepy Daddy. We see Creepy Daddy, he at the mosque. He's praying. And Kanan is watching him from afar. When he finishes, Kanan was like, I didn't know you were Muslim. He says, I'm trying to get back into it. You know, this is all Creepy Daddy's quest, you know. Now he's got a new lease on life. He's got his son. He's trying to be the right person. Anyways, when they get outside, you know, he's like, I don't really know what's going on with you. What's going on? Like, how's your mom? Okay, Fame. I mean, Kanan says he don't really know. He ain't really been home. He been staying with Fame. Daddy was like, listen, I'm still new to this daddy thing. Okay, I don't really even know what to say to you. So how about you just tell me what's going on? What do you want to say to me? Kanan was like, listen, I already know that you my dad. Like, I already know that. All right. Now, though, I got to rearrange shit in my mind that I've known all of my life, okay? I've got to figure some shit out differently. Now, if you think that this makes it strange between me and you don't even know half the story about how strange this makes it between me and my mama. Let me ask you a question, though. Did my mom know that you was my dad? And he was just like, well, I don't want to speak for your mom. All right, you need to speak to her. That's not really fair of me to do. And Kanan was like, you know, she made me shoot you. You know, he was about to say, she made me shoot you in that park. And Creepy Daddy was like, don't you ever talk about that. I don't want to talk about that no more ever. Okay, keep your mouth shut on that one. Okay, that's the past. Let's focus on the future. Now, jumping over to Marvin. Marvin thanks Lou for, you know, taking care of Jimmy for him. And Lou was like, don't nobody shoot at my brother and they don't pay for it. So at least we know we still family. Okay, you can still count on each other. Now, Rock come in the room and she was just like, all right, Lou, are you here today? Because listen, we got some shit that we need to take care of and I need to know you in 100% solid. And he was like, I'm here. Like, damn. She was like, any word on Crown? And he was just like, he owed everybody money. Okay, so we don't know who might have killed him. So she was like, I got people coming from Rochester and, you know, Albany and all these other places. They fixing to come on down. They gonna take care of the Italians for him. They gonna make a big move. It's gonna be okay. And Lou was like, I don't know, Rock. Like, you know, the Italians, they got more everything than us. They got more people. They got more firepower. They got more pull power, everything. Like, we need to be careful. And she was just like, oh, whatever. And, you know, they ain't real mob, you know, they just up there doing what they do, but they still got to answer to somebody else too. Like, no, we gonna do this, the people gonna come down, they gonna take care of it, we gonna get this all taken care of, we gonna have the territory and all that. And then how you think everybody gonna look at Sal when they find out that a bunch of niggas is the ones that took them down? It's gonna mess up their entire operation. Nobody gonna take them seriously. Then she look at Marvin. Listen, I know you trying to get your hair right and everything, but listen, we got to take care of the crackhead. The crackhead is a problem. He out there talking. All right, he knows what's going on, so you gonna have to take care of that. Now jumping over to Fame. So Famous is stressed out. Okay, landlord come knocking on the door like, you ain't paid no rent, you gonna have to go. Okay, Fame's like, I don't have anywhere to go. All right, well, Crown was working and paying your rent. Now you ain't had no money coming in. Like, what I'm supposed to do? And Fame was like, well, what if I get you some more studio time? You know, since Crown was using, paying for this rent by letting you work in the studio. What if I can get you and your girl back into the studio? He's like, I mean, if you can do that, fine, but I don't even think you can do that. I mean, shit, you can't even get your own self in the damn studio. All right. He's like, listen, you got 2 damn days, and you best give me my money or you out. So when Fame closes the door, he look at Kanan. Kanan was like, I don't know what to tell you. You on your own on that one. At the studio, Cartier's running shit. Telling Lou that, that song, the first song that the girl did was for the streets, but this one is for the bedroom. Okay. He telling the girl what she should do and shouldn't do. And Lou was just looking real irritated. While they in the middle of the session, then here come Fame. Okay. He want to talk to Lou. Lou was like, I'm busy. And he was like, it's kind of important. And so Lou was like, okay, tells the girl to take a break. All right. And then he was like, well, what can I do you for? And he was like, well, I'm about to get put out of my apartment, and Crown was the one that was paying my rent by letting my landlords come in the studio. But now that Crown ain't been around, they're about to put me out. And Lou was like, okay, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. And then Cartier was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. He got the wax philosophical on the boy and saying, a wise man said or something. I was like, Cartier, don't nobody want to hear this shit. Basically, Cartier was like, hell no, you ain't coming in here on no free time. Okay, we ain't doing no bartering. Fame was like, oh no, it's not bartering. I just wanted to see if, we can do like a trade. He was like, that's what bartering is. Okay, but basically, no. Closes the door in his face. Fame was like, I'm about to be evicted. I'm gonna be homeless. Oh, well, that ain't Cartier's problem. He tells Lou, we can't be doing these kind of charity cases. And Lou was like, what happened to you being a silent partner? And he was like, well, my nigga, money talks. I was like, y'all gonna have to really get rid of Cartier. He is one big ass problem. So Fame and Kanan later on, they at the pizza parlor. And Fame is still stressed. What he gonna do? Okay. While they sitting there talking, the guy that robbed them and, Kanan went and pistol whipped. Okay. He walking to the pizza place, and Fame was like, why this motherfucker, always got some damn money. I'm over here broke. He always got some money. And Kanan was like, that's because he be hustling. All right. He stay on the grind. You ain't doing what he doing. All right. And so the guy look over at Kanan, he see him, and Kanan was like, what, motherfucker, you don't want to do none of this, you don't want nothing over here, whatever he said. And the guy just kind of look at him and then just walk out. I said, look at Kanan, got a little pull in the neighborhood. But Fame is disgusted. Like, this nigga get to run around and still buying pizzas and everything, and Fame is living pillar to post. So when that night, when they're asleep, Fame gets up. Well, Kanan is asleep. Fame gets up and goes down to Corinne's house. Okay, knocks on the door. I said, nigga, I know you ain't trying to get no ass in the middle of the night from that mama. She might have helped him too. But Corinne comes to the door, and he was like, I need the gun that your mama had given Kanan. She was like, will you go somewhere? You don't need no gun. He was like, I need the gun. Okay. I'm about to go out there and I'm gonna hustle and I'm gonna get the money, like so-and-so did. And he was like, why are you so worried about it anyway? You look what your mama did. She was up there having sex with your boy. Like, fuck your mama. And she was just like, you know what? You right. So she go and get the gun and she give it to him. I said, Lord, if nobody needs anything, Fame definitely don't need this gun, right? So Fame then goes and hides in the darkness of the hallways when old boy is getting home from wherever he been out there hustling. And Fame was like, give me your money, nigga. And the guy was just like, you have got to be kidding me, Fame. I know that's you. Like, what you about to do? I'm about to get my money like, so like you be getting the money. And he was just like, you ain't fixing to do nothing. Anyway, the guy pulls up his shirt and it's a gun there. I guess they acting like he about to pull his gun out, and Fame panics and shoots him. Not only shoots him once, but shoots him like 4 or 5 times. And I was like, oh my God, Faye. And Fame's name been thrown around quite a few times, okay? And of course, Fame, after he shoots him, he don't even take the money. I was like, nigga, you ain't even robbed the boy. That's the reason why you was there. He take off running, and the neighbor across the hall opens the door. So somebody heard Fame over there. Fame fixing to go to jail. Jumping back over to Juke. Juke is out with her father, Marvin, you know, and she was just like, so how was the funeral? And he was like, I mean, it was sad, you know, people was crying and everything. And she was just like, you was crying? He was just like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. He was like, you know, it was emotional. He was sad to see his girl Renee go out like that, you know. And she was like, I've actually seen you cry before. And, you know, then Marvin just starts talking to her about, you know, he's done good things. He's done bad things. You know, he has been a fucked up person in the past, but he's not trying to be that person anymore, you know. So, you know, just the fact that he was at the funeral, I guess it was just making him feel a certain way about himself and the things that he's done and what he wants to do in the future. He wants to do good. He wants to be good for his daughter. He wants to be good for his family. He wants her to look at him, you know, as a good person. And she was just like, you got to do good. She said, well, you can't do good for nobody if you don't do good for yourself. You got to want to be good, and it has to be for yourself first. And he said, you know, that he's working on himself. And I was like, look at Marvin. Why do I feel like Marvin is going to get killed, you guys? I'm going to be so heartbroken. But why do I feel like something's going to happen to Marvin? It's too many positive changes. Either he going to get killed or something's going to happen so bad that he going to just completely go over to the dark side. It's one of those two. Now, later on, we see Juke. Juke is over at Nicole's daddy's house. And she thought that he had invited her over just so he can talk, you know, she can talk to him about Nicole. But turns out he has an off-duty cop there. And the cop is trying to talk to her about Detective Annoying because she is probably involved. They think that she was the one that was providing them with the drugs. And, you know, they just want to get the story. Well, she was just like, I don't talk to cops, and I definitely don't talk to cops about cops, okay? Ain't no snitch. She thought that she was just coming over there to kick it with the daddy, but if this would time you on, then she out. So she gets up and she leaves, and the daddy was like, she just nervous. She just, you know, scared. She don't trust cops. And the guy was just like, well, you know, if she don't say it, then we don't have a case. And he was like, she'll come around, don't worry. I said, Juke ain't coming around, daddy. Later on, Juke is talking to Kanan, and they're talking about Creepy Daddy and Rock, and the fact that Rock probably was with Creepy Daddy back when she was like 16 years old, and Creepy Daddy would have been in his 20s. Okay, that's something wrong there. It's something just like what you was doing with Corinne's mama. Okay, look at the parallels there. Kanan's trying to say that it's different, but Juke was like, no, it's not. She was like, when you going home, Kanan? This shit with Fame is foolishness. And he was like, and say what to my mom? Like, she wanted me to kill my father. She's just trying to tell him, like, you know, your parents, they trying, like Marvin, my dad is trying to be right, you know. And Kanan was like, I don't even know what my mama got to do to be right. She ain't gonna never be able to make this shit right. Not as far as he's concerned. His daddy? Come on, Rock. Now, speaking of Marvin, we see Marvin. He's in his car, and crackhead Sam is walking down the street. You know, Marvin was like, hey, let me talk to you. I got something for you, some drugs in his hands, you know. And, of course, that's music to Sam's ears. So he gets in the car. He's like, I'm going to smoke all this, too. Okay, that's fine. I was like, okay, Marvin, are you about to kill crackhead Sam? Nope. Turns out that Marvin is taking crackhead Sam to the bus. All right, I'm telling you, you need to get on this bus. You need to go on about your life. Start over. I'm going to give you this money. I know I shouldn't be giving no crackhead money, but I'm going to give you this money. I'm putting you on this bus, and please go somewhere and start a new life. Get your life together. And crackhead Sam was like, I'm gonna do better. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to get my life together. Why does motherfucker get on the bus? They get about three blocks away, and he was like, stop this motherfucking bus. Okay, he get off the bus. Crackhead Sam is still in the city, back out there. I said, oh, Marvin, I know you trying to turn a new leaf, but this is definitely the wrong time to do it. Crackhead Sam needed to be killed. This is the reason why Rock can't always 100% put her shit in Marvin. Marvin makes some bad decisions. Okay, but I mean, I understand why, but no, you needed to... Crackhead Sam needs to go. Lastly, we see Cartier. Cartier getting home from a long day's work. Okay, gets on his elevator in his high-rise building, smoking his cigar. Okay, contemplating the day. All right. And I was like, finally, it's about to happen. All right. And when he gets to his floor, the doors open. There go Marvin. I'm sorry. There go Lou and Rock. And Cartier was like, you guys don't even trust each other. You trying to do something together? And they was like, we family. All right. And pow, 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 pow. Shoot them. They got the silencer on so nobody hears it. All right. But I was like, thank you. We ain't had to deal with Cartier too long. Okay. And that's what I appreciate about this show, damn it. They don't make motherfuckers linger. When you get sick of them, about time, when you about ready for them to be gone, they gone. All right, you guys, I did it. I know I was talking fast. I hope I got all the important parts, but I got to get back to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.